Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news, the Washington Post is reporting that Donald Trump revealed highly classified information to the Russian foreign minister and ambassador. Okay? The good news, Trump found the leaker. It's fast. It's fast. Here's the dealio. When Kislyak and Lavrov, is that his name, were in the Oval Office last week, Trump apparently went off script and began describing details about an Islamic State terrorist threat. That is unbelievable. Trump has a script? I don't believe that for a minute. I need intel on that.
Yeah, I need that too.
The information is so sensitive that the article can't describe in detail what was shared, but one official said this is code word information. Okay, so like that code word means like the vital aspects of the story have to be replaced with other words. You have to say things like, the package has been delivered. The squirrel is in the basket. The idiot is in the oval. Could mean anything. It could mean anything. We don't know what that means. We don't know what that means.
But you know.
I'm guessing we're going to have a lot more on that story tomorrow. But the other big story continues to be Trump's firing of FBI Director James Comey. Every day we learn more and understand less. Right now, everybody's buzzing about the dinner the two men shared shortly after the inauguration, when Donald Trump asked Comey to pledge his loyalty to him. James, I thought we would start with a Caesar salad, then the flank steak, then for dessert, how about 2 scoops of undermining the integrity of the FBI? Now, people close to Comey. Yeah. People close to Comey say he refused to pledge his loyalty, but instead promised the president his honesty. But Trump pressed on, asking for Comey's honest loyalty. That's the art of the deal. Okay, I want loyalty, you want honesty, let's meet in the middle at loyalty. But this... Yes, but this weekend, Trump cleared the whole thing up on Fox News.
People suggest that the question that apparently the New York Times is selling, that you asked Comey whether or not you had his loyalty, was possibly inappropriate. Could you see how they would think that?
I read that article. I don't think it's inappropriate. Number one,
did you ask that question?
No, I didn't. But I don't think it would be a bad question to ask.
Your Honor, I did not burn down that hospital, but I don't think it would be a bad hospital to burn down. It looks perfectly flammable, and my friends, the flames, would dance for me. But, now we don't know. At this point, we don't know what was said at the dinner, but Trump claims Comey also said Trump wasn't under investigation. And to make sure Comey, ticks a lock, zips the old tooth purse, Trump tweeted this threat on Friday. James Comey better hope that there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press. That would be huge. I mean, it would be the first time a leaked tape ever made Donald Trump look good. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how widespread this alleged taping is. Is he recording staff members? Is he recording visiting heads of state? Is there a bootleg of Ted Nugent live in the Oval Office? And I'd buy that.
That'd be nice.
I would buy that.
He might sound good on that. I'm interested.
Wango tango. And while it's an insane thing for the president to threaten, it's crazier that we don't know if it even happened. On Friday, Sean Spicer was asked a simple yes or no question. Is the president recording his conversations?
The president has nothing further to add on that.
Why did he say that? Why did he tweet that? What should we interpret from that?
As I mentioned, the president has nothing further to add on that.
Are there recording devices in the Oval Office or in the residence?
As I said for the 3rd time, there is nothing further to add on that.
Does he think it's appropriate to threaten someone like Mr. Comey not to speak?
I don't think that's not a threat. He's simply stated a fact. The tweet speaks for itself. I'm moving on.
It's a good thing that the tweet speaks for itself because Sean Spicer certainly doesn't. Well, moving on. Well, for some reason, the press corps wouldn't take no answer for an answer. And today, somebody asked Spicer about potential congressional subpoenas of the tapes.
I think I made it clear last week that the president has nothing further on that. Hunter.
Wait, Sean. Does that mean that the president will deny?
I think that I said I was very clear that the president would have nothing further on that last week.
Describing a situation which the
I
president
understand.
would defy the legislative branch's request. That's what
I
you're
understand.
saying.
Alexis, I made it clear what the president's position is on that issue.
Sean, just because something happened 3 days ago doesn't mean reporters aren't allowed to keep talking about it. I mean, bachelor couple Ben and Lauren just broke up today, and I'm going to be processing that for months. So, the press kept pressing.
Why won't you just explain whether or not there are recordings of
I think the
conversations?
president's made it clear what his position is.
That's not my question. So
I
why
understand
won't
that
you
because
explain?
that's what the president's position is.
So given that you refuse to confirm or deny any of this, how is any senior official supposed to feel comfortable having a conversation privately with the president?
As I've said, Hallie, the president's made it clear what his position is.
No. No, we know he's screwing the country, but he hasn't made clear what the position is. Is it missionary? Is it doggy style? Is it? Why did you have to do that? Why did you have to do that? Sounds like he's pulling a reverse constitutional. The point is, the entire week has been a messaging disaster, and sources say Trump is frustrated and angry at everyone, and that he's considering a huge reboot. Yes, it's yet another 70s reboot. Watergate 2, Resign Harder. This summer, he is a crook. Although...
You got 2 peace signs. That's strange.
To be fair, Nixon at least attempted to cover up.